Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Dorm Diaries podcast. I'm your host, Alexa Jade, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking all about goals for 2026, how to stay, kind of spinning off of the last episode, how to stay consistent in the new year, and most of all, how to begin 2026 with a positive mindset. All right, let's get started. Okay, so first off, I just want to start by showing you guys my goal cards I made. And I don't know if you guys have heard of these, but they're all over TikTok and they're just, here, let me show you. They're just these cards like this. And you kind of just tie them on a ribbon. They're ribbon. They're just like hole punch cards. Also, my hair is wet. It is drying. I just took my Sunday everything shower. So here we are. But these are getting my 2026 goal cards. So for the first one, we have read 12 books. I enjoy reading, but I can admit sometimes not that I get bored of it, I say I'm going to do it and then I don't. But then once I actually sit down with it, I love it. So I just want to make sure that I can really keep it going because it does bring me joy. My next one is to see 8 sunrises. Another thing is I love watching the sunrise, but getting out of bed and like actually getting ready before the sun's up is kind of difficult for me sometimes. So we're going to try that. Then I want to bake a new recipe each month. So, like I said in my last video, I've had a new want to just bake stuff. So, I'm going to keep that hobby going. I think in 2026, I see a lot of people really making sure that their hobbies are a priority. So, I really like that. The next one is going to be to save money. So, if you know me, you know that I suck at, oh no, this one literally just broke. Anyways, you know me, you know that I suck at saving money and I'll put it into savings and then I'll see something that I want at a store and I will literally just transfer the money out of savings very easily, no thought. I need to get better at that. So we're starting small, but so that I know that I truly am capable of it, 85 a month, which is going to equal out to 1,000, and that money is probably going to go towards school, but it's a win-win. The next one is I want to go on 10 solo dates. So whether that's to a coffee shop or just going on a walk, just stuff to bring me joy that, I could do for myself. So maybe it's buying myself flowers or something, just anything that I know will bring me a little bit of happiness. And then my last one is I want to get straight A's in 7 classes. So that's 7 classes for the spring semester and the summer semester. And then I will also be doing the fall semester, but that is definitely an achievable goal, if not more, but I want to make sure that I'm able to do it. So I just started with 7. Also, guys, I made this protein coffee this morning. Delicious. I found a protein powder at Aldi and it was $20 for 20 servings, but each serving has 30 grams of protein and it doesn't taste like protein. Like, it tastes delicious. So that was a win-win. Anyways, so those are my goals, just some of them. Some more of my goals. I know I also talked about this in last episode, but I cannot wait to truly get into these goals. And people say it's like 21 days to start a habit. Don't quote me on that. But a certain it's like a month of doing something consistently to start a habit, and I'm hoping that a lot of these can become a habit. I am doing the thing where I wake up at 5 every day, and it's pretty typical for me to wake up that early because my shifts start at 7 or 6:30, but even on the days I don't have work or the days that I go into work later, I'm going to wake up at 5 because it makes me feel so good to get the day started and have so much done before people typically even wake up. So I'm going to do that this year. I'm really going to focus on just keeping myself healthy and prioritizing joy about moving my body and the joy of keeping myself healthy rather than the goal to lose weight or the goal to get stronger. Because the goal really is to get stronger and the goal is to, feel and look my best. But I don't want it to become a toxic thing because that does tend to happen. And I'm sure you guys know Spencer Barbosa. She is literally one of my favorite people ever, one of my favorite influencers. I'm so inspired by her. And I just, if it doesn't make sense with what I'm saying, Basically, I'm trying to think more like Spencer. She is just so positive about her body. She's beautiful, and she's very good at making sure that women know that all these social media expectations are just not realistic. And if you have a sweet treat every day, so be it. Like, it literally does not matter. So, I'm hoping to just have a better relationship with myself and the image of myself and everything. So, as the title of this podcast episode, How to Begin 2026 with a Positive Mindset. Also, once again, if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my show notes. But, anyways, so I'm going to ask you a question. And I mean, there's no right or wrong answer, but a lot of people would probably choose one over the other. But would you rather start your day with negativity and feeling sorry for yourself that you have to get up early or that you have to go to work? Or would you rather be grateful that you have something to wake up for, that you have a roof over your head, that you have the ability to take care of your body and start your day off like that? Most people would choose the second option, but it's also easier said than done. So, of course, there's some days I wake up and I have a very negative mindset, and there's never really like a reason for it. I mean, sometimes there is, but even without a reason for it, it is just kind of there. And it's up to you to change that mindset. Nobody else can do it for you. People can encourage you, and people can say, hey, like, look, you should think about it this way, or it's going to be a good day. But it is up to you to flip your mind around the best way you can and do things to fill your own cup to try and have a good day, because the day is going to happen whether you want it to or not. So, for example, if it's a Thursday, it's been a long week and I have to go back to my teaching job like every week. Sometimes I don't want to. I just want to stay at home and I feel exhausted and I don't want to have to go and, be so talkative all day and all that stuff, even though it's something I enjoy. Sometimes it's draining, obviously. And I won't really see a reason to get up, and I'm like, I don't want to go, whatever, you know what I'm saying. I'm repeating myself a lot. Sorry about that. But find the small things. So for me, coffee, getting up and being able to sit on the couch and eat my breakfast without having to just go, go, go. So even though, yes, I would have to wake up like 30 minutes early to do that, it truly makes the biggest impact on my day. If my day is feeling rushed and I, if my, or not my day, if my morning is feeling rushed and I don't want to get up to start the morning, and then it's 10 minutes before I have to leave out the door, and I'm rushing and I don't have time to put the energy into myself, then how am I going to put energy into the little kids that I teach? So it's the same concept just with any job, the same concept with anything is just try your very hardest to go at it in a positive mindset, because it doesn't take that much energy and it's going to make a drastic impact on your day. So, I don't know if that made sense, but hopefully it did. Okay, so the next topic I want to talk about is boundaries. So, boundaries in all aspects of life. So, what actually inspired this, my favorite podcast, or one of my favorite podcasts, because I say about a lot of things, is the Hot and Unbothered podcast. And the host of that podcast actually released a planner for the new year and is so perfect. And I would show y'all, but it's in the living room and I'm just not good enough to get it. But it is a planner, and every week it has like a prompt, and it's like, what are your intentions for this week? And then it's just typical planner. It has the whole month written out. It has your weekly check-ins and all of that. But then at the end, it asks you like what you could have done better or something to improve on. And then at the very end, it has like a whole entire reflection about the new year. And it has like motivational stuff in the front too. I really, really enjoy it. It's very minimalistic too. You can buy that on Amazon. It's called I think it might be Becoming Her planner. I'm not too sure, so don't quote me on that. But it is something on Amazon. It was $11, super affordable and so worth it. But anyways, I don't actually know how that tied into boundaries, but I guess I just wanted to talk about that. Anyways, so I want to talk about boundaries because a lot of the times I will think of the word boundaries. I'm like, oh yeah, I have boundaries set. I don't let people walk all over me and I don't let this happen. But they don't have to be that like like how do I say this? They don't have to be so specific or so also at the same time like so broad and so basic. Like everybody's just kind of we don't really think about our boundaries that much. We kind of just go about our day-to-day life and you know, we protect ourselves. I don't know if that makes sense either, but I'm talking like what is it like to check in with yourself? So ask how something made you feel. If it made you feel, you know, it off put you because somebody was a little bit too close to you for a long time at work. You guys were at a public space and they were just kind of in your bubble. That's a boundary and it's small and it doesn't make the biggest difference if you do let them be in your bubble or you don't, but it's the little things like that that help you keep your cup full and keep you going throughout the day. So, in order for a boundary to exist, you have to communicate it. So, this prevents confrontation and conflict and all those negative things. Not negative, let me not say that. Confrontation and conflict is not negative. You need both of those things to be a human being. But without that being said, I can't talk. With that being said, it can still be intimidating. Okay, so more of the story there, that was just a lot of rambling, is be in tune with your body, be in tune with your mind, and if something makes you a little bit uncomfortable, and even if you think it is so small and it's not going to make a difference, advocate for yourself and communicate because you are in control of that. And if somebody else or an environment is making you uncomfortable, then you know that environment doesn't or that person does not deserve your company and you are in control of that. So just keep that in mind a little bit more. Okay, so the next topic I want to talk about is the idea that only you can pursue your dreams. So what I mean by that is nothing can happen unless you put in the effort yourself. So you can manifest and you can have these dreams and you can have people who tell you that you're good at them and that you can do something. But unless you put in the work and you truly dedicate yourself to it, nothing's going to happen. It's like every other thing that I've said, you are in control. You are in control of the outcome of what happens with your life and what happens to these goals that you have in your head and these dreams that you have in your head. So, not saying that you have to do something every single day to get to your main goal, and if you don't, then you're not going to get there. Not at all. But I am saying if you talk and talk and talk about something and you just kind of keep pushing it off, or you just think that, oh, I'm going to do it later, or I'm going to figure it out another day, or oh, it'll work out, or something, just something like that. Maybe it will slowly, but realistically, nothing's going to work out until you put your effort into it. So you can have your support from people around you, and that is very, very, very important and almost crucial. But you have to believe in yourself and you have to put in the effort to meet those goals as well. So, a small amount of work every week to make or to work towards your main goal will make a difference. So, ask yourself, what is this? What is the main thing that I'm working towards? So, think of the big picture and then you can slowly dissect from there what you can do daily or what you can do weekly to help you get there. So let's see. For example, it's like this podcast. This is a hobby of mine, and I talk about it and people encourage me, but nothing's going to get anywhere unless I take action and I do it. So, no, I'm not recording an episode every day, and no, I'm not even thinking about it every day. But when I have ideas, I don't push them off and say I'll write that down later. I write them down when I think of them, and I have a schedule and I try my very best to hold myself to that. So, it can take time to build those habits of getting used to working towards it and not pushing things off, but I do think that is very important and it can make a huge difference. Okay, last but not least, I want to talk about the importance of having a planner or some way to track your things and my recommendations. So I did just talk about this, but the Becoming Her planner, I did go and get it. I could not recommend this more. So, like I said, this is by my favorite podcast. It's called the Hot and Unbothered podcast, and the host, her name is Brianna Gomez, and she is so sweet. Her vibe of the podcast is kind of what I'm going for here. She was definitely some of my inspiration, but she has little messages for you in here, and then she has the weeks, and then there is monthly reflections and like goal setting things. And I just think that this is so perfect because it doesn't have too much going on, and you can use it, of course, like a planner. But on top of that, you have reflections and you have different things to think about. And I just think that this is perfect for me. And if you're anything like me, you would love it. But planners really help me with motivation and with just actually getting things done, because a lot of times things will slip my brain, and then they'll build up and I'll kind of get very overwhelmed. But when I can see it on a paper and I can see, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna run to the bank and the next day I'm gonna go grocery shopping, whatever it is, it helps so much to know when you're gonna do it and when it's coming up. And it also motivates me because if I have that written down, like it feels more of an obligation, more of a goal for me to do, rather than it's in my head and I forget about it and oh, I could do it, but it's not urgent. But yeah, I think getting a planner is super, super beneficial, or even just having a dry erase calendar, anything to help you be able to track something and track your weeks, track your months, and all of that stuff. But anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of this week's episode. I am so grateful for you to be here, and if you made it this far, thank you so, so much. It would mean the world to me if, whether you're listening to on YouTube or Spotify, if you could leave a comment or like the podcast, that would mean the world to me, as well as if you think anybody would enjoy my entire yap session that just happened, go ahead, share it with them. Anything helps. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.